Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Money Matters Top Tips for Success, where each and every day I bring on new business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives and have them share their top tips for success with you. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me at Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Matt Polley on the line, and he's co-founder and director of technology over at Support IT CRE. Matt, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Adam. Thank you for having me.
So I'm excited to get more into what you're doing over at Support IT CRE, but before we do that, let's get a little bit further into your background. So how did you get started in your career in business?
Very good question. Really just started off in the world of IT, and I worked for numerous years at a software company that we implemented network environments for commercial real estate brokers, meaning we would put together CRM systems, which are customer relation databases that track everything from their contacts to their properties to their daily activities and much, much more. And working in that genre, what I found there was a desperate need for was somebody or some team to get in there with these business professionals and really teach them how to use the product, because it's one thing to implement software. It's another thing to actually make sure that your customers are using your software. So there was a huge demand for that because it's, somewhat of a complex environment. And in probably about 8 to 10 years of doing this, I realized there was a definite market for the support end of it that these business professionals were not getting. So a couple of colleagues and myself decided to branch out and provide that as a service, solely to get in there to train these brokers how to use their software correctly and to really optimize their business by cleaning up their data, showing them how to use the software correctly, and just really improving their daily workload.
Man, what a great story. I love it. You're like, there was this need. You obviously were an expert in what you were doing. You got together with, brought in some partners and launched the business. I mean, it's awesome. I love hearing stories like this. That being said, obviously, you're many years into or much further, I should say, down the line from where you started, and we all learn from our ups and downs, everything in between in terms of being entrepreneurs. What kind of advice would you give to that new entrepreneur that's maybe out there? They're just graduating college, right? They don't have quite as much experience in the field, but they have an idea and they have something that they want to launch. What kind of advice would you give to that fresh entrepreneur that's out there trying to get started with their first business?
Well, my best advice would be just not only to go for it, but to build your customer base or to build your business. I must say, I found LinkedIn a huge resource in the professional world. In fact, I've had so many clients just find me by word of mouth through LinkedIn. In fact, I think you guys found me that way too. So, these days with social media like it is, my best suggestion is to utilize those resources. Get online, build your profile, and just work your network up as best you can. And don't be afraid to do it. A lot of people will tell you need to follow this direction, that direction, but really go with what your heart tells you.
That's awesome. Let's switch it up a bit, Matt. I want to get into what you're doing over at Support IT CRE. So you touched on it. Let's go a little bit further. So tell me a little bit more about the company, please.
Sure. A large part of our customer base is built on brokers that we've worked with in the past. So really, what I was doing, and a couple of other colleagues, is we're just getting in there and working with these brokers remotely. And what we'll do is we'll get on a remote session and really look at what they have. And I'll tell you, 9 times out of 10, it's a nightmare. All kinds of data that duplicate, central. Disarray of, and these poor guys, I mean, they know their business, they know commercial real estate, but they don't understand how Outlook links to their CRM, or how to go about scheduling a daily appointment, or working their calendar and with their contacts, and basically their marketing. So we're providing every aspect of their business. So we're providing reporting, we're providing consulting for support, consulting for data initiatives such as deduplication, such as really just getting in there and making their whole system work well so they can do their business well.
That's awesome. What's the right type of what's your sweet spot in terms of clients? Because there's some people listening right now that I'm sure they're like, we could probably use help with this, but they don't know if they're the right fit. What's your sweet spot in terms of the type of client you like working with?
Well, interestingly enough, I've fallen into a majority of my clients, or our clients, are commercial real estate brokerage firms or individual users. But the truth is, like you just mentioned, there's no business out there that doesn't use data in this day and age. There's always, I think pretty much every business professional has Outlook, and they kind of understand how to integrate that into their business. But I really think it could be a lot more widespread than it is. That's really what I'm trying to do now, is get the word out there to multiple business types, not just, seclude ourselves to commercial real estate. Just anyone that needs a helping hand, really.
Got it. No, that's awesome, Matt. So if somebody's listening to this right now and they do need that helping hand, what's the best way for them to reach out and to learn more about Support IT CRE?
Well, I would encourage anyone that would like to, feel free to email me. My email is just my name, 2020, so it's Matt.Polley, Polley, 2020 at outlook.com.
Perfect. Well, hey, Matt, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background as an entrepreneur and in business, and all the great work you're doing over at Support IT CRE to help your clients. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. I hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store, share this with your friends and family. I mean, do all those great things you do to support our podcasters. I really do appreciate it. And Matt, thanks again for coming on the show.